Jastremski and Sal Licata here with us for Table Talk. So the Mets go from getting no hit through 5 1/3 to walking it off against the Marlins. JD Martinez with the first walk-off home run of his career. Sal, just how badly did the Mets need to hit?
Yeah, well, they need that and then some. I mean, even for me, I'm not going to get excited yet because they took 2 of 3 from the Marlins. Barely. I mean, come on now. The Mets need to get back to 500, and obviously winning series is going to help that, JJ, but I need a lot more than the Mets barely hanging on to beat the Marlins in a game where, again, they look lifeless. It's just not good baseball being played. They get good pitching from Luis Severino. Bullpen, at least Diaz coming back, looked pretty good, but the offense needs to do a lot more. It was nice to see a professional hitter come through in a big spot. Of all the guys in that lineup, he's the one guy I want up in that spot, and I trust, and he delivered.
Good news, the Mets have played much better baseball over the last 10 to 12 days. Can't deny that, can't ignore that. You nailed it, though. They barely won 2 out of 3. I mean, they're getting no hit, for goodness sakes, in the 6th and the 7th inning of this game, and it would have been disastrous to go and lose 2 out of 3 at home to this hapless Marlins team. But that's where the presence and the professionalism of JD Martinez really comes through. This is a guy who's been in so many big spots throughout his career with the Detroit Tigers, with the Boston Red Sox, with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and this was the idea when the Mets brought him in to go and be their DH that, hey, he's going to anchor this thing. He's going to take the pressure off of guys like Lindor and Alonso. And for the life of me, we were just talking about it a few moments ago.
Yeah.
I don't get why the Marlins pitched to JD Martinez, but that's a story for a different day. Michelle, take it, run with it. They have some positive momentum.
I just can't believe that he had 320 home runs prior to that home run being the first career walk-off home run for him. Encouraging return to the mound for Edwin Diaz, though, a scoreless 9th inning. Hit 100 miles per hour on the radar gun for the first time this season, which is huge. Also got the win. So, JJ, was one outing enough for you to believe that Diaz can turn his season around?
I think it's super encouraging. Look, baby steps for Edwin Diaz. We know how nightmarish it was before he found himself on the injured list. And Sal, I know it's not necessarily a save situation, but hey, it's a 1-run game. You want to win the series, and he came in and gave you a 1, 2, 3 innings. So I think for most Met fans, they're going to need to see Diaz now do it for a month. They're going to need a couple of weeks now where he's consistent, he's doing the job, he's avoiding those blow-ups. But I'd much rather see this Sal Licata than Edwin Diaz, let's say, walking 2 or 3 guys and giving up 3 or 4 runs. So it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, the result was fine. The eye test told me I need to see a lot more. I don't have confidence in Edwin Diaz. I think he's still trying to find his confidence. So if he's not confident, how can I have confidence in him? Unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lost season for him. I'm rooting for him. I hope he really does well. It was encouraging with the results, but I just don't think Edwin Diaz looks the same, at least to me, at all, the way that he did before he got hurt in the WBC.
Good old Sal Licata eye test.
Yeah, well.
So the Mets now have won 6 of their last 8 games against the Nationals, Phillies, and the Marlins. So have the Mets finally figured out, heading into their series with the Padres, something that it's maybe something?
No, I don't think that it is something. Look, again, I want it to happen. I'm torn between being realistic and what I want to happen. Like, yeah, I want the Mets to go on a run here. I want them to get their season back on track and give a real chance at the wild card. I don't believe it. I don't believe they're any good. What is it? How many more innings do they need to get no hit for us to realize maybe they're just not a good team? Beating the Marlins is one thing. Barely beating the Marlins is another. And reality is they should have swept the Marlins. The Padres are hot. Watch what's going to happen in that series. So I need to see a lot more. You could reference them playing better. They swept the Nationals. All right, they split the Phillies. They were lucky to do that. They've been a little lucky here, to me, more so than good. I need to see a lot more before I believe in this Mets team.
So I agree with that, but look at their schedule coming up. I know you mentioned San Diego, who is playing some good ball. They're going to have the Marlins a bunch. They're going to have the Nationals a bunch. In theory, if the Mets are going to make a move, it's got to happen now over the next couple of weeks. And based upon what you saw in this series and what you've seen all year, I understand the skepticism. I get it. But, hey, Michelle, it's in front of them. They got to play much better. They can't play the way they did against the Marlins and think it's going to be good enough against San Diego.